Let's do that. Got our spray tank. It's gonna go right there. We are spraying. It's good. Let's put some tape. Door panel covers. I don't know where those are. Somewhere around here. There it is. Hey, it worked. Nice. That's exciting. What's up, guys? We have a Pathfinder, an older one. I forgot to ask what year this is, actually. But it's older. Haven't cleaned the windshield or anything, but we're doing the front doors and the full windshield, and thankfully not the rest. And I'll show why I'm glad I'm not doing the back. But front two and windshield in ceramic. Which is kind of funny. Some of the comments that I saw somebody post in our group not too long ago, like, is it worth doing just the front doors and the windshield without doing the back? There were quite a few people in my group that would say, no, it's not worth doing it in ceramic. And I completely disagree. Ceramic is nice to have all the way around, but just doing it on the front and the windshield, like, that's where you sit. So as you're driving around, the sun that cuts through there, you don't feel that anymore. I don't sit in the back. Doing older cars, always cool to see it. I'll watch the stream later. Nice. Is it on? It's not on. So we're gonna do that right now. Oh, ooh. I don't want that. There we go. It's a Nissan Pathfinder. Should be working on TikTok, right? Sign in. Try again. I hope so. I hope TikTok is working. Activate source. Okay, so should be working. But yeah, we got an older Nissan Pathfinder right now. What are your thoughts on the new nano carbon release? I don't have it. And I'm not sure. I think it's gonna be an odd fit for a while. But I haven't gotten to try it in person. So I'll probably get asked quite a few times, but it doesn't really fit in the lineup right now in anywhere. It's just like another alternative. So if you want a carbon ceramic, then you can pick it up, but for a little bit more, you get better performance with C2 ceramic, and then you have C2 carbon right underneath it. So you're not really saving much money with it, but it falls somewhere in between those specs right now. But that's how I felt about Carbon Plus when it was released, because it was an alternative to Pro Nano, but it wasn't as good as Pro Nano. So it's like, okay, I'm just gonna keep buying Pro Nano. Pro Nano was about the same price, but they improved C2 and turned it into C2 ceramic. So it was Carbon Plus, and then it turned into C2 ceramic. And now it fits in there really nicely. People like the color, including me, much better than Pro Nano, and the performance improved. So I think there's potential for that, where it's just doesn't make much sense right now. They're trying a new platform. There are all these talks about tariffs, so they're able to make it in the US, but that comes with some trade-offs. All right, we're gonna lock these together, start cutting our patterns. Do I have enough space there? Yes, I do. It reminds me a lot about the Altima we got sitting outside, even though it's a completely different Nissan. Still shares quite a few things, like plastic. Plastic right here at the mirror. But they do fold out of my way. Good for you, Nissan. And we'll shift this over some. We're gonna cut this back edge. Now there's a funny little lip here. Also the way this door just key pushes in. Reminds me of the Altima sitting outside. Shift it back over. Did I make this wide enough? I think so. Tint is banned in our country. That's unfortunate. We got a lot of funny state laws, but it's not outright banned. Wonder if I should have made this a little bit wider. I think we'll be, shit. It's one of those classic. Yep. This edge here, I should have made it wider than I just did. So you have your plastic edge, and then it actually gets tucked in quite a ways, because that seal rounds off quite a bit. Well, it said TikTok was working, but I don't think TikTok is working. What's even the point? Just wear sunglasses. All right, let's see. Let's see if this works now. New. Select live sources. Yep, so TikTok's working now. Sorry, trying something here. Two-step verification. Yes. Yes. Okay. All right, now we'll see again. It's been funny. I don't know. Sometimes my chat is working fine, and lately it's been picking one source and not the other. So it'll work for YouTube and not TikTok. It'll work for TikTok and not YouTube. It was perfect for a little bit. But it's confusing. What's the tape with the plastic? Panel guard. You guys want to help me name something else? I need a name for these. These are our new door props. So pointless for this, but on frameless, like your Mustangs, your Challengers, all those, your Teslas, we have this that pushes in and then it hangs out there. And so when you close the door, the top doesn't bump into the edge. But I need a name for it. I don't know what to name it. Otherwise, we'll just call it a door prop. That's boring. Lock aid. It's kind of obvious, and I didn't think about it. I like it. The door jammer. Okay, both of them are working now. That's good. I'll pull up my Chat GPT list and try and remember what it said. It had some funny ones in there too. The door crutch. So this has a funny little curve here. I'm just gonna cut this straight, but I'm not gonna do that until I'm doing all my corners and edges. We'll slide this over. I wanna tuck a little farther into the front edge. So we'll tack this and cut this front edge. You know what? We're gonna close this door too. It wants to keep shutting. Do doors on Ultimas just wear out after a time? Because I get an Ultima that's sitting outside. It does the exact same thing on the driver's door. There's no... I need my door prop on it. We'll slide this down just a little bit. Tack these together. No, down a little bit more. There we go. It's so rounded right up here. A little hard to tell if it's actually squared or not. That should work. For frameless, do I cut it right at the bottom? Yes. No, tuck it just a little bit. You can still tuck frameless. When you're doing frameless, like it just depends on the inside seal versus the outside seal. But I'll tuck into them just a little bit. Don't you install it on the inside? Oh, if only we were still working on it or something. Currently tinting a rafter. 23 with already delaminating tint. Yikes. That's what happens when you use really bad shit. How do you start your blade cut without crumpling the tint? You try not to crumple it. Tint just can't do like a compound curve. So it can do, like it can roll. So I can do this. But as soon as I put a bend in it, that's when it's all sorts of screwy and messed up. So you can push it near a seal, but if you feel it starting to do that type of bend, don't keep pushing it. You'll just screw it up. This is a 24-inch roll. 24 fits your trucks and SUVs pretty well. Oh, thank God. I default to 20% so many times, I thought I grabbed a 20%. My issue with two staging is not pulling, but I've already squeegeed back up. I'm gonna try and tuck. So like this, if it's starting to bend funny, you see this, that right there? If I keep just push it like that, I'm gonna get a crease. I wanted to roll it into any edge and just have it curl rather than put a bend in it. So just keep that in mind. Yeah, we should just trim this a little bit more. Corner 45. All right, let's go tape the other side before we roll up some windows. What's a good brand for window tint ceramic? We're using Windshield right now. I like them. Have you tried Winshield's new line? No, not yet. I have not tried it. I have not seen it. I have heard, but I do not have it. I know I'm going to be getting that question a lot. We'll have to make like a PSA. It's just gonna be like Carbon Plus for a little while. And then hopefully it'll get better. But right now it doesn't really quite fit into a regular lineup, but I'm sure some people will like it. Gio's testing out a new platform. So in the same way that C2 Carbon, C2 Ceramic, and Apex are all part of a family, same thing for their new Nano Carbon. It's part of a new platform, but there's nothing attached to it yet. So if it works out, you'll probably see some more lines that kind of like sprung from it. But with all the tariffs, that kind of uncertainty, that's actually where Carbon Plus came from, was during the pandemic. It was an alternative to Pro Nano. So this is a way for them to make something in the US and see how well the platform does overall and fits in. These are some dirty seals. Any of the side rubbers that I touch, I am getting streaks everywhere. There's no uncertainty in the tariff they're working. What do you mean? They were changing all the time. It just affects global stuff. None of their lines came directly from China either. But all the pieces start moving around. Starts affecting shipping and everything. What's that? Whoa! Oh, these are cool. I could have used one of these like a few minutes ago. Did you order these?
Yeah. It's the same one that you had before.
Oh, okay. Yeah, these are nice. Cool. Thank you. I was just looking for one of these. We're going to put those right here for now. Does the tint go on the inside? Well, I sure hope so. We'll find out. Found a shop that has Pro Nano 5 that's 15. Also going to do 70. I know you prefer C2 ceramic. So the 5 and 15 should be pretty good. 5 is a little warm. There was nothing wrong with the rest of it. Just the 35 was like the strongest. And you're not doing that. I installed Pro Nano for a long time. It's just when somebody asked for 35 on a windshield, it was like, ah, oh, shit, really? Let's do 50. So you see this, how we have kind of like more beading and the water running off. I'm gonna scrape this and then I'm gonna torch it. Do you have to shrink every film that you do? Yes. If your window's perfectly flat, then you wouldn't have to. If you pull bottom seals, you can get away in some cases with not. But it's just, it's helpful. Your film does not stretch. So as you're squeegeeing it, it doesn't stretch over the window. Not much anyways. It's not like vinyl. So the problem is when you go to install it, you'll have fingers popping up. And then you're like, why does it have that? Why did that happen? Because you didn't shrink it. Wow, you can even see it. All the water drops. They immediately start sheeting on the window. Pro Nano. Wow, the voice definitely. See that? Now it evenly sheets. That's what we like. I see a lot of cars with rear glass that's bubbling. Yeah, it's cheap film. Cheap film made with cheap materials. Why was it beading? I don't know, it's old. Some say hydrophobic coatings. I feel like it's something else, but just maybe oil's built up on the glass. I don't know. There's just something about it. You don't like it. I found if you lay the film with the tint brush, you don't really have to shrink. It makes a lot of sense. So one of the major reasons that you have to shrink the window is, it gets rid of the fingers. But when you're squeegeeing out your window, the more evenly that you can distribute all the film, it's all gonna lay flat on the glass. You're not causing one spot to bunch up more than another. So when we're two-staging, I think part of it's the bottom seal, but another part of it is as we get the top to this area, we squeegee that out. It has a tendency, I think, to buckle a little bit more film at the bottom, and that's probably why we get more fingers sometimes doing it that way. It's probably a really subtle thing, though. But if you have an aggressive adhesive, you push hard and you clear out all the water, then that takes care of most of it. It's just not much of an issue. That window looks dirty. It is dirty. Anything that I touch, especially on the outside, look at that. That's what I'm working against right now. Anything on the sides that I touch is just black streaks. Because all the rubbers are deteriorated. Sorry, I had a stroke right then. Here's one stroke, here's two strokes. Yeah, we're doing 35. Now that tucks nicely in there. I'm glad I did that. Otherwise, my other pattern would have been a little short. So this plastic stops right here. I want it to tuck in farther because you can actually just where you're going to be sitting, you're going to be looking right at this spot. And so I wanted to tuck the tint farther forward so you wouldn't see that edge. The pink triangle is my savior when it comes to doing sides. Love tri-edges. They're so nice. Well, that is a flexi seal. Not for... There we go. If you're a good tinter, you don't need tape on the side seals. Yeah, I didn't use tape for a very long time. But I'll tell you what. It's helpful. It's nice to have. I don't know why people get so touchy about the little things. There's an active, debatable war between plotters versus hand cut, shrinking versus not shrinking doors, pulling, or if there's another way of doing it, there will be an army on both sides. It's so stupid. Does all that water leaking into the door card cause any damage? No, it freshens it up. It's getting washed right now. It hasn't had an inside door bath in a long time. So tape for side seals, I would rather just mask this off. I don't know. Rather clean tint over fast tint job. Seal tape helped me a ton this weekend. Heck yeah. Thank you. I really appreciate hearing that. All right, so that side's done. The other side is shrunk, ready to go. We just need a door cover, and let's go do it. I appreciate the tape, you never know. And I was not taping anything. I didn't tape things for years. And then there's the, well, if it's a rubber seal, like it just helps keep felt out, right? So you don't need to do it on rubber seals at all. And then I just started comparing. I would not tape a door, I would tape the other door, and I would just compare side by side. And these were fairly clean cars. And I would get the occasional couple specks that you could usually see down a side, like one or two, like totally acceptable dots. But the other side just didn't ever have them. And then every once in a while, because I'm rushing through a day, sometimes it would, because I two-stage, sometimes it would flush a little speckle line straight across, and then that's an immediate redo. I just don't see those anymore. Oh yeah, we gotta torch this one, don't we? People always try and search for a reason why I'm damaging a car. There's a blade. You sprayed it. You're destroying that car. Yes. Yes, we're ruining all the things. How do you know if you have to torch it? So, when I do this, I'm looking at what my slip solution is doing. This actually isn't as bad on this side. Maybe in a few spots. But when I spray it, I want the water to evenly sheet across the window, and if it clings to it, that's good. But if it starts to just bead away, don't kiss the car. Why would we kiss it? It'll drop the value substantially. Can you give me a dollar amount? How much are we dropping the value? Substantial, but what does substantial mean? This is the classic gold color. You know, this is in really good shape. It's easy to look at it and just old, but no. Look, even the wheels are clean. Most windows have a 16% curve. Really? A 6? How do you find that out? This is the first time I've ever heard that.
It's oddly specific.
Yeah, it's very specific. How do you find that out? How do you measure that? I'm not saying you're wrong. The first time I ever heard that. That is a head turner. But it's like something I want to whip out of my knowledge base and go, well, we shrink because glass typically has a 16% curve to it. Huh? Oh, yeah. Thank you. Well, you're not shrinking that on the outside. It's already been shrunk. So we did that already. All we're doing now is prepping the inside. And then we're going to install it. Sorry, there's a lot of comments about the, like, what about kissing it? I missed it. I was distracted with the 16% curvature. If that's the case, would you mind coming by the dealership with me? There's a new truck I was looking at. If you kiss it and take it to dinner, and it'll drop the price. Sir, we're looking for 50 grand for that truck. And then you just like lean in, give it a kiss, and they're like, shit. Well, it's not worth that anymore. We'll give it to you for a discount. We hand cut these ones. You guys always take. I don't even know where this comes from. All right, we'll start with the long side here. What else can you use for a seal guard? Tape. I'm not a huge fan of painter's tape. It comes loose. But, I mean, there's guys that use it. So, like, it does work. It just doesn't stick as well. House wrap tapes work really well. That's what we started with. There's one at Lowe's. Well, they're at most hardware stores. Like house wrap tape slash, what's it called? Seaming tape. It's used in construction. There's clearly a smooch on the hood. Just go after hours. And then when you go to get a new vehicle, I'll be like, see, there's a smooch mark on that hood. And they're like, God damn it. You're one of those people. Couldn't offer you 50K. It's clearly been smooth. It's smooch tax. Don't ever use repair shops recommended by your insurance company. They will remove your tint, or they will ruin your tint. No, that's just So I tinted for a glass company. Every once in a while, they would damage some tint, replacing something. Like they had to pull a quarter window or whatnot, and they just had their reasons. It can be any mechanic thing. So if they have to pull your glass to like replace something, it's really hard to pull it out of the door without accidentally scraping the tint or having something brush against it. I wouldn't say it's a insurance company conspiracy. Because they should honestly cover it too. If that damage occurs when they're fixing it, then they should also cover fixing it. Ew, look at that. Look at all that. Just like wiped its butt. Gross. But the window, look at this. Hang on, let me make sure so you guys don't confuse that with specs or anything. Look at how freakishly clean that side is. Love it. You guys need to stop. It's been smooched too many times. Insurance won't let me work on it. This is so stupid. Where's my screwdriver? Gotta replace this blade. This is the most tedious to change blade holder. You gotta loosen up the screws. Oh, I think it's probably just stuck a little bit. There we go. I use too many blades. Is that an LTT? Yes, it is. This is an OG completely black edition. He was 100% right. You see the black that got scraped up there? I don't care. I like it. I have the orange one too, the orange and black. And they just came out with a clear one, and I ordered that one too. I basically use it. I use it almost exclusively for removing mirrors. It's been used for other stuff, but for the most part, it gets used. I use it to remove mirrors. All right, so we got a couple more stickers, I think, on the outside. This windshield's gonna take a lot of cleanup. It's also got a crack in it, but he said it's had this crack since 2018. I told him it could get worse. He's like, I just need it to last a couple years. I don't care. Let's just see how this goes. But this here, I don't think he really cares about this faded sticker patch here. So we're gonna take this off. Look here, Spider. Yeah, I have a scraper somewhere. Hang on. It's got to be sitting around here. I misplaced it. I had like 2 or 3. Oh, yeah, here we go. Let me get this set up too. These are ones that we sell. I just like this because it's got a handle on it and I can reach down farther. So I use this on Windshield, so I was getting it set up for that. This I'll use for other situations, but honestly, what I like the best is just using a blade without a freaking blade holder. Oh, come on. There we go. Bro, I donated for nothing. Did you donate? Hey, Sebastian. Thank you for the 2. I appreciate it. I don't have a great notification for it, so it just went missed. You don't get called out for $2. Sorry, it's 5. There's just a lot of comments, and I'm not looking at my screen the whole time. So yes, sometimes things get missed. What tint today? We did 35 on the front doors, and we're doing 50 on the windshield. Are you in Canada? No, but we're not far away from Canada. Well, you can see his original Nissan stamp there. I think he'll be happy with that. All right, let's scrub a dub. Prep this windshield. Front windshield is illegal. Illegal. Shit, guys, we gotta stop right now. Somebody in chat called us out. Sir, it's actually perfectly legal if you have a doctor's note, so. Just a second. Just a second. Wow, that's actually not good. Okay, we'll let it chill out for a second. Maybe the card overheats. Maybe it wants to breathe. Okay, we back. We back. There we go. Maybe it overheats. Let's go scrub the other side. That's what we were doing. Phew! Oh, now my chat's messed up. Okay, so those are connected somehow now. I just realized his name is literally Detroit Tin Studio. You got there. I knew you got it, Canada. Okay, let me close this. And then we'll reopen it and see if that fixes. Ooh, it'd be worse if it's a window issue. I'm gonna switch my audio source for a sec. We're gonna move it to the speakers. Oh, okay, okay. I fixed it. All right, cool. We're back in business. Guess who's back? Back again. Tinter's back. No one cares. Is 5% illegal on a windshield? Not with the doctor's note. But they might write you a ticket for something else. I don't know. Some states allow it for medical prescriptions. But in Michigan, they don't specify shades. So, I don't know. But you can get tickets for obstruction of view and just kind of whatever. So I wouldn't push it. If I had it on my license or a doctor's note, I wouldn't probably just try and like test my luck with it. You can get it as a restriction on your license though. That's pretty cool. Then you're legally required to drive with the window tint. And if they catch you driving without it, then they could give you a ticket for that. The opposite. You know, when I first heard that, I'm probably the same age as the guy that told me that when I first heard it. Damn. That's like full circle now. Shame it's not like that in Australia. It's kind of wild to me just how, like, it's just a straight up misunderstanding of like why people need window tint. For them to just like outright ban all window tint, especially in a country like Australia. Like, come on, we don't necessarily need to black out our windshields, but it's freakishly hot. So it's just better for health reasons to just put a nice ceramic on your shield. I need window tint because I hate people staring at me in public in my car. Maybe you're the one that's staring at them. You're looking over there like, why is that guy looking at me? And they're actually minding their own business, but now they're looking at you because you were looking at them. But I hear ya. Everybody likes more privacy. I'm a detailer. I want to start tinting in the future. What's the learning curve like? It's not as straightforward as detailing. So with detailing, mechanical work, it's like you can just scrub something more, and then you can learn what chemicals to apply for different situations. You can refine your process, but it's hard to outright screw something up when you're detailing. With window tint, the unfortunate bit about it is that you're just tinting and anything can screw up your tint, and then you start over. So learning curve is annoyingly steep, and every mistake costs you money. Learning the 16% curve. I love when jokes come full circle. That's a good one. There's about a 16% learning curve to window tint. Good. We saved his pass. So I still gotta cut and shrink my shield. I don't have any tint on it. But I want to be able to see everything here because it's just old. See, give me a wide razor blade. So I have this, but this isn't quite like a razor blade, but it is pretty good for cleaning. But if I have really thin, like glue residue somewhere, this isn't gonna just like take it off. I'll have to hit it with an actual razor blade. But if I can clean windshields like that very fast, oh, it'll make my life so much easier. How are you gonna have somebody tint your cracked windshield? Oh yeah, we talked about that. He said he's had this here since 2018. And he's like, I just need it to last a couple years. I don't feel like replacing it. It's been there for so long. We're just gonna kind of roll the dice on it. You're making this a bit shady. Wide blades might be prone to scratches. I agree if the blade's too wide, but I think this width and shape would be ideal. But look, they can even like squeegee your window. So like, see how long this is taking? This is a big meme, but it works really well. Wider blades don't fly. Yeah, so they need one with this thickness that's just wider. That's what I need. The like 3-inch ones, they're a bit thicker, and the blade holders are also stubby. So I need something that's more like this. That's not plastic. Why don't you try the blades for architectural glass? Because the holders are stubby. We have some. Hang on. All right, let me throw some dryer sheet on this, and I'm gonna run upstairs. We do have flat glass blades, but they're just, I just need a little longer blade, flexible blade. Like somebody in chat mentioned it. Like longer, thin, flexible blades would be awesome. This is so fun. Thank you. Do you have PPF videos? No, I'll show you. I have the 4-inch ones. And there could be something that I just haven't stumbled across. I did a lot of digging. I couldn't find anything. I've sampled some stuff. Didn't like it. But we'll have a few minutes to kill with this windshield drying. But it's all cleaned. It's pretty much ready to install. It looks good. All right, let me show you. In drawer number 1, oh, that's where my flat edge is. I have these 3-inch blades. These go in a 3-inch holder. And these are made for glass scraping, but they're thicker. And the blade holder comes out to about here. So then you're just way more likely to scratch a window. I want a slimmer angle. And then we also have the Ninja scrapers for flat glass in a 4-inch size, and we have replaceable blades. So these ones. But what I don't like is the blade only comes out this far, and so the holder is also this thick. So then you have to go at a much steeper angle, and I would expect that's going to start to scratch a windshield because there's curve in a windshield. So give me maybe like a 3-inch blade, 2.5 to 3 inches, and then wider. Yes, it needs to bow with the glass. Exactly. That's what I want. And I don't know if that'll perfectly work, but it sounds good. So it just doesn't exist that I could find. So if somebody can do some digging and find it, I would appreciate that. Is this not open? Okay, where's my 50? What's this roll? 15, 35. I know I got a 50 C2 ceramic somewhere that's unopened. Give somebody a shout out. What? Oh, John! John with a 5, thank you. I was somewhere else, I didn't see it. Thank you so much. If you double tint with ceramic tint, will that be the equivalent to Apex? Yes, basically. That's the point of Apex, is you gotta think. Just wasted my lunch. Shut up, guys. Chat, you helped. Do we carbon 50, C2 carbon? I know I have a freaking opened roll of 50%. There it is, stuffed in the back. I probably did that. I knew it. That's what I was looking for. C2 in the carbon cabinet should have been. Okay. No, don't fall. I don't have as much time today, but it brings up an interesting point. So let me take how about this? We'll take the scraps. We'll take the scraps from this. We will double them up, and then we will put them on the heat box. And then we'll take one swatch of Apex, and we'll see. Does that work? That should work. I'm obviously in Dubai. Dubai Tint Studio. That's right. That's what we are. But that's what we'll do. See? Good God, why is this being so funny? Now this isn't. Sign in. Keep session. Not available. Here, let's stop. Activate source. And then cross our fingers. Hopefully it'll just work. But if not, it's YouTube. I have a question. I have a Vauxhall, and I'm going to tint the windows, so do I need to heat shrink the door windows before placing them on the inside? Well, your door windows have a 16% curve to them, and your tint has a 0% curve to it. Is that right, chat? Did I do that right? What about a Corvette? Test tube, baby. What is chat today? Chat is just their own hive mind this time. Is PPF on the front windshield good protection, and how likely would it be to yellow? They are making PPF windshield protection films now. I don't know about yellowing. It's gonna depend on the film. It's more about longevity. They just don't last because they get a ton of road damage, especially from your wipers. So if you have a windshield protection film, you actually want to not use your wipers a whole bunch. It won't yellow if it's good PPF, but it'll have an orange peel. That's a good point too. How are we doing on the windshield protection films? Like, the ones that are the PPF, are you guys seeing orange peel? I'm about to hit up Car Supply's warehouse and maybe try out some of the optical. Because they're in Chicago. And they're gonna test that in the same type of weather that we got. I know it's not exactly the same as PPF, but it is a TPU. So they're gonna alter it some for your windshield. But any one that I saw so far had orange peel to it, but I have not seen recent stuff from companies. I've got 2 boxes of shit from Matico. That stuff is blurry. I had to take one off a ZR1. The customer was not happy on a $300,000 car. What kind did you have on there? I took it off my Explorer. It saved my Explorer from a chip, but I couldn't stand the blurriness. But your $300,000 car is a prime example to have it, just because the replacement cost would be absurd. But yeah, if it just makes driving insufferable, then... The wipers were streaking with the rubber. That's why? Tell them not to drive it in the rain. Like, I'm sorry, that's probably not a car that you drive in the rain. Coat that thing with a ceramic coating, and I would just enjoy watching the rain run off my windshield. I thought it would be for clarity or something else. That's kind of wild. My brother's tint is very blurry, has little air bubbles, so every time I look through the window, I get pissed. Some people just don't notice it. Did 1,000 miles on a GT3 a few weeks back, which had PPF on the windscreen, no noticeable orange peel. That's cool. Alright, I'm gonna have to give some of them a try. I don't really want to become an installer of it, but there's too much of a push to ignore. What's the general charge? Probably $500. It's annoyingly expensive. The materials are not amazing yet, and it's annoyingly expensive. But we're at early stages. So this is the type of stuff that happened with early carbon and ceramic films. They were more expensive, and they weren't clear. They had a milky haze. They weren't super installer friendly. But time moved on, money got dumped into it, and now they are very user-friendly, they're very clear, they last a long time. So I have to imagine that with the sheer amount of attention that windshield films have right now, they're just gonna get better. It's like glass coatings. They went from like 6 months, like 3 months to 6 months to like a year, but it's hard to last longer than that. Let me do this. 1 second, guys. I'm just having all sorts of software. Sign in. Try again. Try again. How do I change settings on this? Clear cache and storage. Okay. Oh, that worked. I think it's working now. We'll see. All right, let's cut this windshield. Sort of taste of dentist toothpaste. It was gritty. Ugh, I hated that the grinder thing that they had to like. They like scrape it out of a little cup thing. And then they just like mash it against your teeth. God, I hated that. So uncomfortable and just not pleasant. 16% curves. Yeah, oh yeah, the polish. They just like scrape your teeth out. And then they sit there with a polish thing and God, it's terrible. Where to get that knife? A few places. We have it in our TikTok shop and we have it on our site, 313tint.com. They do. You're just like a little kid and they're like, spit. Plastic knives are okay. The Red Dot Metal by NT, it's way better. A lot of clicks. And just the angle of this out of the blade holder really matters quite a bit too. I don't like Olfa for that reason. Olfa has some with like double the clicks, but the ends on them just are annoying. I don't like it. Have you ever done a Porsche Macan? I had a bad time with a Porsche Macan. They had like the goofy quarter windows. I just ended up not doing it that day. This was when I was just pressed for time at a glass shop. Like, hey, can you do a couple doors on a Porsche? And he showed up at like 2 o'clock. And I still had other sets of doors to do that day, but it didn't sound like it was gonna be a big deal. And then it just turned into not fun. Wasted like an hour on that. Have you tried Rock Rose on Amazon? No. It's just gonna be kind of garbage. They're just a cheap alternative to Tint X. And I don't really like Tint X either, so I'm just not interested. How can I remove lint from tint? It is clean with microfiber. So if it's on the surface, you just take a cleaner, less linty microfiber. But if it's in your tint, that's stuck there. Some towels, they just like shed. All right, this is ready to install. Fiero windows. I had a shop struggle with my car. Took them about 3 to 4 attempts. Yeah, Fiero's not straightforward. You got so much stuff in the back. I know too much about a Fiero. My dad dumped way too much money into a Fiero. It was supposed to be the coolest shop car, and then it was just a waste of money. Good God. Okay, so this headliner, a lot of fibers. If we're careful, that's likely to be a small to non-issue. But let's see how this sticks to an old crusted out headliner. I actually am not sure. It's stuck fine to all the other headliners, but this is like an old fabric. I think it's better to tape it off than not. Dirt can come from a lot of spots. So when you sweep off a windshield, the dirt goes down the pillars. So then you have to kind of take your time and wipe all your edges. Seems to be sticking fine. Now any tint that's like overlapped here, it's just running across clean tape. Stopped taping since the headliner came off of the tape. Oof. Yeah, we don't want that. I haven't had that happen yet. If this was like the cloth was falling, separating from it, yeah, it would just make it worse. So the headliner still looks fine. It's just kind of old and brittle. But we're still okay. I like that there's no tab on this. The mirror was up here in this area, so I took it off. So we already scraped it. Yay. Now we squeege. I hate windshields because the A-post always comes in, seating position, steering wheel, 80% chance of having some fibers. So we have a 16% curve on glass, and we have an 80% chance of getting shit in it. We are hot for percentages today. I agree with that. There's a high chance of getting stuff in your windshield. Gonna do this one more time because you can't squeegee windshields enough, even though I probably just did. This will be the cleanest windshield ever. That's the goal. I don't care how old your truck is. It's gonna be clean, damn it. Is 35 on a windshield too dark? I really liked 35. 35 was my favorite shade. It did make me feel like I was gonna get pulled over. So I currently have 50. Most of my customers get 50%. But 35 is really nice. There's a 100% chance I'm gonna go crazy. Well, that's fine. So 50 doesn't make me cringe when I drive past the cop. 35, yeah, I would definitely like try and move out of my way. It's illegal in Georgia residents tint windshields, which is BS. I agree, that is BS. Did you have 5% on your side windows? No, I didn't. I had 5% on my side windows for a total of 5 minutes. Oh, I have no cutouts on this. This is rare.
Visualize the 16% curve.
Oh yeah, what did ChatGPT say? I can't read it yet. Oh, visualize it.
Yeah. It looks a little more than. It's like frowning. I love that it's like a smile or like a frowning.
It's a good inside joke t-shirt design. The earth is 16% curved. What do you usually do? 50% on a windshield and what on the sides? 35. That's more for... That's because they don't care as much. So that's what we're doing on this one. Most Hang on 1 second. I gotta kiss this car real quick. Oh, value dropped. So my most common shade is 20. People tend to want to see a little bit lighter. And so I always dress up my vehicles with 20 on the rear, 35 on the front, just to show them that contrast. And then most of them end up going with 20. And then 50 is so nice to leave on a windshield because it's really easy then to explain 35. So you show them 50, they go either A, oh wow, that's really nice. I didn't know you could do a nice light shade on a windshield like that. Or they see it and they go, that's pretty good. I want it to be a little bit darker though. And then you have either 40 or 35. Because the glue don't just sniff it. I licked it though. What do you do then? Uh-oh. Is the heat press on? I wonder what else is making it go now. Huh. That's weird. Oh, it still looks nice on camera, though. Over 30 years, I've seen about 20 of the best. I'll pass away with heart problems. Don't use your teeth. Just some advice from an OG tinter. Oh, shit. That sucks. Hey, it's back. Thank you. No, that really sucks. You think it's glue? Licking glue? I didn't learn how to peel tint with my fingernail until I was like years into tinting. Stop using dryer sheets. I could see that one too. Living off of coffee every day doesn't help either. I'll give ivory a try. I've tried a few different soap bars. I was not a huge fan. I mean, somebody just asked a good question yesterday. Breathing all the soap that's in the air, that's probably not good for you either. It's just like, how many, oh, like that. Oh, shit. I'm glad I taped that headliner though. At least for now. As long as we don't destroy it. Okay. Ooh, our other thing. With the soap bar, we have applicator pads that we would use. Like a sponge applicator pad is really good. You can spray the applicator pad and then just rub the soap bar across it. And it does a really good job of putting like a nice even layer. The final step of my unroll, the passenger side, it curls instead of laying flat. What film? Some films have a tendency to curl when you peel the liner. My older brother is using Lumar a lot more lately at a different shop, and he said it's got a really bad curling problem. So some films just do it. It'll be fine until you like peel the liner. What's that tool? I don't know. We're trying to think of a name for it. Just trying to make sure that's clean. I don't think there's anything there. What line from Geo? So I was using C2. I mean, you're shrinking a windshield. It always has a tendency to like curl inward some because you literally curved it to the windshield. So like it's rolling in a bit, but it shouldn't just like flip and spiral. How long does a 100-foot roll last? 8 to 10 cars. I was saying 8. There's quite a few people that were saying 10. I think 10's a little much. But if you're cutting on a plotter, you can save some extra film. So that might be it. Is that a crack in the windshield? Yes. Can you believe some people do not tint cracked windshields? That's just throwing money away. That's not my decision. That's a customer decision. So he said this crack's been here since 2018. He had it fixed once and then got another chip in it. So I said it might spread. Hopefully it would just run straight down. And he's like, it's fine. I just need it to last a couple of years. I honestly don't care. All right, cool. Just wanted that just mandatory disclaimer. Potter's 8 for kids. R. I think now he has to get it replaced. He did get it filled once and then got another chip, so it's just starting to run. I mean, they could drill it out and do it again, but I don't know. He wasn't interested in fixing it. It's pointless to tint a cracked windshield if you have to replace it later on. He said, I just need a couple more years out of it. I don't care. It's been there since 2018. Explain to the chat about the 70% glass. What, that glass is already like dyed out of the factory a little bit. Like all glass has a color to it. It's never clear. Like on a rainy day, look at your windshield and try and say what color it looks. Most of them are green. They're gonna have a very light shade to them. So anything that you put on it is then like adding darkness to it. So adding a 50% to a 70% is now darker than just 50. What's up with the new nanocarbon? I don't know. I don't have it yet. It's just going to be an awkward stepchild for a little bit. They're going to see if it's worth keeping around or not. They're testing out a new platform that doesn't really make sense in this current lineup. So they're going to say a lot more positive things about it right away. But I kept the same tone about C2 carbon. Or no, I liked carbon when it was released. C2 ceramic used to be carbon plus. and it made no sense. But it was basically just an alternative. It was an alternative to Pro Nano when supply chains were really screwed up. So, being that we were in some uncertain tariff times and global conditions, I can't blame them for looking for alternatives. All right, there we go. How are you reading chat right now? I hear it, and it's on the TV over there too, right in front of the windshield. See, you can say hello, chat's right there. That worked out really nice, I like that. Put that cover. I wish mirrors were all like that. You guys want to see something funny? This has to be a factory thing. There's a little nubbin right here. And then this. What? Like, that's how it came in. And I'm like, I hope that's not glued. Nope. Just pops right off. No problem. I like the jump from C2 ceramic. Makes me more justifiable to customers. Much easier to upsell to ceramic than it feels C2 and Pro Nano. Yeah. So I'll run up front. We have, let me get an Apex sample too for you guys. Can we just, here, let's grab the 35. We got Apex 35. We got some samples. Let's go up front. There was somebody that asked, and the numbers aren't going to be 1-to-1, but the idea should be pretty close here. So GeoShield films, they have now 6 automotive films. Shit, that makes it harder to explain. This is my lineup. I carry the C2 carbon, the C2 ceramic, and then the Apex. So this has no ceramic in it. The darker you go, the more heat that it blocks. But C2 ceramic is going to block more heat than this. The C2 ceramic has 1 layer of ceramic. So that's this film right here. Awesome film. It used to be my high-end for a long time. Then this came out, and this took 1 layer of ceramic and added a 2nd layer of ceramic and combined that into 1 film. So it's basically like double tinting your car in ceramic. So what I want to see is, let's turn this BTU meter on. Let's turn on our heat, and we're just gonna find a nice round number, 300. So if I drop a single layer of C2 ceramic in between here, I go down to 77. From 300 to 77. If I drop a single layer of Apex, we are going from 77 to 37. Right? We're at 300. Now we're at 37, but it was 77 with a single layer. Now if we double these up together, so now we have 2 layers of ceramic, and we put them here, we're at 20. So 2 layers of C2 is gonna be a little better. We have a little bit more going on here than literally just, like, there's polyesters, there's shades, there's other stuff here. So it's not just 2 layers of ceramic, but you're about from 37 to 21. Slightly better doing actually 2 layers, or you can just do 1 layer of Apex. So that was fun. I've actually never tried doubling it up in front of the heat box before. But I'd say, like, realistically, would I feel that difference? No, you're not really gonna feel a difference from 37 down to 21 on what this is right now. So with glass, keep in mind too, this is, let's put this back at 300. I want to say this is Pro Classic. I didn't even think this is carbon. It might be. But then we go to this, C2 ceramic in the 20%, we're at 80. And then Apex, we're at 37 again. So margin of error right there. So it's close enough. Can you show me the difference between 70% and 50%? All right, I was walking out, but you got me. It's very subtle. More noticeable when it's on the car. This is as if you were in the car looking through it. But this is 70, and then this is 50. So like you really don't notice a huge shade difference until you start, like 20 gets dramatic, 15, a tinge, and then 5, it makes a big jump. So really like 5, 20, 35, these are your biggest normal jumps, and then 50 and 70 is kind of what you hear. If you want a clear windshield, we've done a few lately. We just did one on stream yesterday. Actually, the stream yesterday was 50 on the rear, 70 on the windshield, and the front doors. I can tell you, when it's on a windshield, 70% is not a dramatic difference in just visibility looking through it. But when you're driving or when you're looking at your car, 50 is going to be noticeable. 70% is basically invisible. So 50 is going to add a little bit of color into your windshield. And so some days you're going to go like, oh, wow. That's actually like adds a little bit of privacy to it. But 70, it doesn't really have any color tone to it, so it's not going to do much for you. It's just a way of having ceramic on your windshield. Thank you. I just started practicing how to tint tutorial. Nice. Got one of those in my garage now. I'm working on it. You have one of these in your garage? Really? That's funny. That's a funny coincidence. All right, where's my... What are SUVs out the lot with the back windows? 20. More often than not, right around 20%. John, thanks. Now I got a double tint ceramic in Arizona. Thank you for the 10. I appreciate that. I think it's such a close difference that Apex would be the better route. Double tinting. Look, I tried that a little earlier this year. You can do it. Like people, you can absolutely do it. It's just a lot of extra work. eBay or Amazon for tint? No. 313tint.com for tint. They don't have good films on eBay and Amazon. They don't sell anything with the idea that it's going to last. They have to cheap out because Amazon takes like 15% margins. But it's just not a place that professionals get filmed, so it doesn't get sold there. Sprayway glass cleaner, best. It's been that way for over 20 years. It's really good, yeah. Ooh, I just saw it. There's a couple things that are really good alternatives. CarPro Eraser works really well. And also just alcohol and water work really well. I just use TintX/Lexan to practice. Yeah, they sell like Lexan / TintX was on Amazon, but their worst offering was on Amazon. And so if you wanted their better stuff, the Pure Max, but you wouldn't know it unless you knew more about the company, that was sold on their website. So there was a lot of confusion when people were even asking me to try that film out. They're like, get it. And I got it. And they're like, no, you bought it from the wrong place. Well, they sold it there. Baking soda and vinegar. That's the thing I've never tried. Another thing that people said worked really well was newspaper. Are the new tools on the site yet? No, I just finished the model for our door prop though. It's somewhere in here. I'll find it in a minute. This isn't quite it. This is almost it. But it'll be up on the site soon. The other squeegee though, I'm still working on that. It's really good as is though. I could release it in this. I just don't like this as much. Like I want this to be more polished is all. But this works really well. Just as is. So maybe I'll just put it up there. Because it works. And then it'll slowly improve style over time, but keep the same functionality. Do you ever have to tint the windshield? Do you ever have to tint the windshield? We just did. This windshield now has 50%. Torch. Oh, torch the windshield. Ew. No. I don't think I. Let me get in here. I could do some of it, but I would still stay probably about this far away from. So I would just stay too far away from a dash to make the lower half really effective. Dried water spots, please explain. There can just be spotting on your windows, hard water over time, sprinkler systems. They just leave sediments that dries on your windshield. You can get a hard water spot remover and scrub your windows down and it'll take it out. Do you know Fusion guy? I don't. Okay, what are we looking for? We're looking for, where's the stick? Let's put this up. Have you ever had Apex flake off ceramic? Heard they are looking for the cure. That is the first I've ever heard. I've never seen Apex flake or a post about it flaking. We have a very large GeoShield group. Who'd you hear it from? Let's put this back. Actually, I'm gonna leave these here. You need this. Do you guys ever? I got a wallet with an Apple tag. I put this on here so because I keep misplacing this. It's been helpful. I believe it was on the GeoShield dealer Facebook. I haven't seen that. I'll keep an eye out for it though. That would be alarming. Can I use ceramic spray after a clay bar? Especially because we install a lot of it now. Can I use a ceramic spray after a clay bar? Yeah, clay bars are used for cleaning the paint. So you'd want to do a clay bar on your paint before you'd use something like that anyways. I'm way less knowledgeable about detailing stuff though. Looks good. Looks good. What time is it? I gotta take my son to a doctor's appointment. I probably gotta get going soon. Is there any way to wash the car in the sun? You can, it's just hard because it dries so fast. Here's the stick, this one. This is official version 1 of the, it's already got gunk on it. Our door prop. I don't know. We'll name it soon. It'll be in the store soon. But I'm going to show you guys, and then we'll be done here. I like it. So, if you get a Tesla and you want to make sure you don't do one of these, see that little mark right there? And my son caused this one right up here. This happens when you open the doors and you latch the windows. If you don't put a towel there, if you don't have a stopper, what'll happen is, here, let's just latch it. So if I close this with it latched, I can break the window and I can cause a scuff mark. And then the whole trim has to be replaced. So, door stopper stays there, and then when you close the door, it keeps it propped away. That stays in, so you don't have to worry about anything. You can just close it, boom, you're fine, and then when you want to remove it, it just pulls right out. It's like opening the door. And see, keeps it latched. No more accidentally booping doors. Ta-da! I like it. But I was trying to make this as universal for other frameless and stuff as well. Tag you in the Apex post. Thank you. Yeah, I will check it out for sure. I haven't heard anything yet, so hopefully we're Did you do like the Detroit Tint Studio account or my personal? I'll go to their dealer group though. Sheila, dealer group. One day ago. Had micro crease and used a chiseler in the top layer. What could this cause? I'm not seeing it. And I'm in their dealer group. Yeah, this one? It's a yellow squeegee, but it's not cracking. Has this ever happened to anybody with Apex or any percent? Had a micro crease, uses chiseler on the top layer, flaked off. He took a chiseler to it. Oh. That's just damage. Had a micro crease, used a chiseler, and then flaked off the top. It's... No. No. We have been seeing this randomly in the Apex line. The hard coat in the Apex has a third ceramic coating we're working to resolve. But it's making a mountain out of a molehill. Is that the saying for that one? It's nothing I would be concerned about. What would worry me is if I install a windshield, it drives away, and then there's cracking down the road in a ceramic layer, which has been an issue with other films that I've seen. Like, nothing I've ever used. It was a flex film line. They're, what the fuck was it? Panaflex? They had long-term cracking issues with that. Not hating, just have never tried it. I have Model Y. It seems like he just was fixing something and then he caused it to chip with the tool. I'd say it's unusual, but it's more installer than anything. It wasn't just like, hey, there's a random chip in this windshield. Uh-oh. Why did it do that? Oh, well. I gotta hop off now. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Bye. Sorry. I gotta go pick up my son and then take him to the doctor.